Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 3 of The Last of Us. Last episode, we got our first encounter with a clicker, which was intense and thrilling, and I loved every second of that sequence, especially the way they brought the creatures to life. It was beautifully horrific. I adored it. And then we also had, of course, Tess getting infected, and then her sacrifice to allow Joel and Ellie to escape. Yeah, man, I'm really loving the show. I adored what they're doing with this. We already got a green light for season 2. While we still have 7 episodes to go, and just initially looking at the runtime, we got another hour and 20-minute episode here. So yeah, so these episode lengths are going to fluctuate a little bit, it seems like. So I'm very curious and excited to get into this. Like, because of the last episode, I was trying to hold off until the PC port came, but like my itch was too strong, and I ended up getting the remake for my PS5 because I just wanted to play the game again. I haven't got too far. I definitely haven't caught up to where we are currently or where we're going to be in this episode. So still expect a couple of things to maybe not be all the way there as far as my memory goes, but I did see some clips from this episode just that were floating around promotion-wise. I refuse to watch the Next Time On trailers that come out just to kind of not get all of that, too much of that information, but I think that this is going to be the episode where we run into Bill, played by Nick Offerman in this iteration. So I'm very curious to see how they do this whole segment and how far this goes, because again, this is an extended episode. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and hop in. So if you want to see the full length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. It is watch along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time code, so your reaction to the entire episode. You get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover here on the channel. You get to suggest and vote on what movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind the scenes footage to try to make it worth your while, so you are going to support the channel. And guys, if you enjoy this reaction, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like and drop a comment and subscribe if you're not already, because it really does help us out. But with that all said and out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and hop into episode 3. Here we go. That's an interesting shot to open on. 10 miles west of Boston. Dude, this is a gorgeous location. But him balancing those rocks, I don't know. I saw that as he's finding balance in the world in a way to maybe see how he can find balance in himself, because he's just so destabilized by everything that's happened. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
Look, I've been thinking about...
I want your sorries.
I wasn't gonna say I'm sorry. I was gonna say that I've been thinking about what happened. Nobody made you go along with this plan. You needed a truck battery or whatever, and you made a choice. So don't blame me for something that isn't my fault.
That's fair. That is fair.
How much longer?
5-hour hike.
We can manage that.
With these lovely conversations, I'm sure you will.
No infected?
Not often, no.
What are you looking out for?
People.
Oh. Are Bill and Frank nice?
Frank is.
How'd you get that scar on your head? What? Is it something lame? Like you fell down the stairs or something?
I didn't fall down any stairs.
Okay, so what then? You know, seeing as it's just the two of us, I was thinking I should
We had supplies en route in case we find ourselves short on gear, which I currently am, because...
No way. You ever play this one?
Yeah!
There's this one character named Melina who takes off her mask and she has monster teeth and then she swallows you whole and barfs out your bones.
Dude, I loved that old arcade machine, man. But I did have the Sega version too, though.
Is there anything bad in here?
Just you.
Getting funnier.
Recycled joke. Love it. I'd probably ask questions before I go opening stuff.
You all right back there?
Yeah.
Ellie. It's a interesting shaped pile of dirt right there. Was that mounted together so that they can get out, or is that like something just very vaguely, lightly buried? Yeah. Oh. Dude, I'm still very suspicious about that mound. Ugh. That legitimately jumped me. Ooh. The way they recreated the cordyceps growth is just so, one, spot on and just wicked. Ew. The way it's like manifested in every part of the body to the point where it is under your epidermal layer like that is just so disgusting.
What are you doing?
There's not much ammo out there for this thing. Makes it mostly useless.
Oh, you're just gonna leave it there.
No.
Hey, if he was in Texas, he'd probably be able to find ammo for that all over the place. Well, I don't know. It's probably all picked up 20 years later, though, to be fair. Oh, wow.
A few times, sure.
So lucky.
Get shoved into a middle seat, pay $12 for a sandwich.
Dude, you got to go up in the sky.
Yeah, well, so did they.
Yeah. Way to take the whimsy out of it, man.
If you have to get bit to be infected, then who bit the first person? Was it a monkey? I bet it was a monkey.
It wasn't a monkey. I thought you went to school.
Federal school? Teach us how their shitty government failed to prevent a pandemic.
Fair.
Cordyceps mutated. Some of it got into the food supply. Probably a basic ingredient like flour or sugar. There were certain brands of food that were sold everywhere, all across the country, across the world. Bread, cereal.
Pancakes. Oh, that hurts.
Stuff up there you shouldn't see.
Oh, now I have to see.
I don't want you to.
Aren't you honest, man? Should have said axe murderer.
Mass grave.
About a week after Outbreak Day, soldiers went through the countryside, evacuated the small towns. Told you you were going to a QZ, and you were. If there was room. If there wasn't.
Wow.
These people weren't sick?
No, probably not.
I'd kill them.
Dead people can't be infected.
Oh, that's a child. Oh no. You don't have to show me. Oh.
Not today, you New World Order jackboot fucks.
Smart. Doing pretty good for himself, man.
Keep coming.
Oh, it's eerie. Ooh!
It doesn't get old.
4 years later, 2007. Man, we're getting a lot of backstory. Something fell into one of his pits.
I'm not infected.
Oh, wait.
Are you armed?
Is that Frank?
No. Why did you take that long to answer?
I don't know. I thought about lying for some reason, but the reason didn't come. But yeah, I'm alone.
From where?
Baltimore QZ. It's gone.
Are you hurt?
Their QZ fell.
Stop there.
Oh, he's got one of their scanners.
How'd you get that?
Yeah, how did he get one of those?
Boston is that way. You can make it by nightfall.
I'm really hungry.
I'm letting you go, so go.
All right, look. First, my name's Frank.
Oh, yeah? Here's the thing, Frank. If I feed you, then every bum you talk to about it is gonna show up here looking for a free lunch. And this is not an Arby's.
Well, Arby's didn't have free lunch. It was a restaurant. What the fuck?
Everything tastes good when you're starving.
Yeah, but not like this. A man who knows to pair rabbit with a Beaujolais.
I know I don't seem like the type.
No, you do.
Man,
There's
how
more. If
I can't.
how long has it been since he's seen anybody that he's got to like?
Oh, thank you. So I guess I'll be going then. But first, I've been staring at this the whole time. Is it antique?
1948.
Wow. You know how much these are worth?
Currently nothing. No, sir. No, thank you. Sorry. Not this song. Not this song.
Well, I'm not a professional.
Well, neither am I, but... Love will abide. Take things in stride. I think I'm gonna love you for a long, long time.
I love Nick Offerman's like micro expressions in every scene. Like you just see like there's something that doesn't know how to escape. And this is definitely alluded to in the game, I believe, but just never really touched upon by the time Joel and Ellie show up in the story.
Oh, you.
Oh, wow.
Our home isn't just our house, it's everything around us.
Give me a break.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I live in this world. You live in a psycho bunker where 9/11 was an inside job and the government are all Nazis.
The government are all Nazis!
Well, yeah, now, but not then. I'll do everything else myself.
It is not a matter.
You say resource management? So help me, I will run through one of your tripwires. We're gonna make friends. And we will invite them to visit.
Because there are no friends to be had.
Well, I've actually been talking to a nice woman on the radio.
You what?
Ooh.
It's amazing, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm the same way.
Oh, you're a paranoid schizophrenic too?
I'm not schizophrenic.
Well, can I just say, gonna
And we got more time with Tess.
By the way, how nice this is to have a civilized meal in such a beautiful place. I want to thank you, even if we don't end up working together. I really needed this.
We are working together.
See, Frank wants to bring the world back or help slowly rebuild. It feels like, well, Bill's just, like Joel is just very reluctant about getting too involved with things they can't control.
So what, you were a prepper or something?
Survivalist. Maybe you are decent people. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. We're self-sufficient here. I don't need you or your friend complicating our lives.
That fence has got a year on it. Tops. Galvanized wire already started to corrode. I can get you 10 spools of high-tensile aluminum. Last you the rest of your life.
He was a construction guy, so he knows this stuff.
You sure about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a gift. You come back, we'll trade.
All right.
Oh, and I had this idea that we should,
Wait, was that the shirt that we've seen her in? It looked like it. That salmon collar.
Sooner or later, there'll be raiders. And they'll beat that fence and your tripwires. They'll come at night, quiet and armed.
We'll be fine.
I love that the show's allowing us these expansions on characters, situations, things the game didn't have time to really flesh out because we were stuck behind Joel's perspective.
just one more loop around. I got something to show you.
Oh.
I traded Joel and Tess one of your guns for a packet of seeds.
Which gun?
A little one.
Oh, wow. Dink it and sink it.
Getting older faster than you.
I like you older. Older means we're still here.
Is that, wow, I like that line. Not on the strawberries. Oh, and they have their little white picket fence. Oh, Fedra. Yep. Or at least I assume so. Maybe they're... Oh! Oh! I mean, they could just be bandits. Wow, he's just messing them up.
No! We gotta get you inside. No! 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 Inside, now!
I made a list for you of copies of all the keys.
Good.
Yeah. Call Joel. You can't be here alone.
Well, I'm not alone. You're here.
No.
Bill? It's getting cold. Okay.
We're bring inside.
Yeah.
What happened?
Back in
I
bed.
promise you I'm gonna stay up.
Why?
Because this is my last day.
What if we find a doctor? What if someone shows up who can help?
Who's coming, Bill? The door-to-door MRI salesman? There wasn't anything to cure this before the world fell apart. I've made up my mind.
Is it cancer?
I'm not going to give you the every day was a wonderful gift from God speech. I've had a lot of bad days. I've had bad days with you, too, but I've had more good days with you than with anyone else. Just give me one more good day. Starting now, make me some toast. Then take me to the boutique where I'll pick outfits for us. And we'll get married. And you cook a delicious dinner. Then you will crush all of these up, put them in my wine. Then you will take me by my hand, bring me to our bed, and I will fall asleep in your arms.
And the cinematography in this show is just gorgeous. Man. Oh, I love this contrast because it's like it looks like the same meal he ate when he came here, but instead of being at opposite ends with this kind of callousness between them, they're side by side sharing it like together. His first and last meal with them.
Why are there already pills in the bottle?
Enough to kill a horse. This isn't the tragic at the end of the play. I'm old. I'm satisfied.
I do not support this. I should be furious. But from an objective point of view, it's incredibly romantic.
And here we are back at present day. Is it the same day, though? Or the next morning? Everything's coated in dust. Even the food they ate that night.
It's from Bill. To whomever, but probably Joel.
Oh.
I figured I fell under whomever. Came with this.
So they're dead?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
If you find this, please do not come into the bedroom. We left the window open so the house wouldn't smell. It will probably be a sight. I'm guessing you found this, Joel, because anyone else would have been electrocuted or blown up by one of my traps. Take anything you need. The bunker code is the same as the gate code, but in reverse. I never liked you, but still, it's like we're friends. Almost. And I respect you. So I'm gonna tell you something because you're probably the only person who will understand. I used to hate the world, and I was happy when everyone died, but I was wrong. Because there was one person worth saving. That's what I did. I saved him, then I protected him. That's why men like you and me are here. We have a job to do. And God help any mother who stand in our way. I leave you all of my weapons and equipment. Use them to keep...
Tess. Yeah.
Stay here.
Wow. Echoed exactly what Tess had said in the last episode to save who he can, but there's still some hope and something to protect.
Show me your arm.
He wants some more affirmation.
I just finished making a truck battery. It's charging right now.
Okay.
I have a brother out in Wyoming. He's in some kind of trouble, and I'm heading out there to find him. He used to be a firefly. And my guess is he knows where some of them are out there. Maybe they can get you to wherever this lab is.
All right. Listen, about Tess.
If I'm taking you with me, there's some rules you gotta follow. Rule 1, you don't bring up Tess, ever. Matter of fact, we can just keep our histories to ourselves. Rule 2, you don't tell anyone about your condition. They see that bite mark, they won't think it through, they'll just shoot you. Rule 3.
So Marlene said,
when I say it.
or at least implied.
Yes.
Repeat it.
What you say goes.
Okay.
So what now?
We grab what we can.
Holy shit. This guy was a genius. Why was the music on?
If you didn't reset the countdown every few weeks, this playlist would run over the radio.
80s.
Oh, the song that they would have heard if they were still back in Joel's apartment.
They have hot water. I'm taking a shower. And then you're showering. Seriously.
Hey, the shirt. Oh.
Well, don't you look pretty?
Shut up. It's your first time in a car?
It's like a spaceship.
No, it's like a piece of shit Chevy S10 that'll get us there.
Oh.
Seatbelt. Oh, no, wait. No, leave it. Leave it. Oh, this is good. This is Linda Ronstadt. Do you know who Linda Ronstadt is?
You know I don't know who Linda Ronstadt is.
The window they left open. The window motif, man. Oh my God. That was such a good episode. While it was like the calm after the storm and the chaos of the last episode, I kind of liked that about it. Because they really took their time to really dive into Frank and Bill. You know, in the game, you don't really have the time to do that. Again, like I talked about earlier on, the game centers you, at least the first game, centers you only behind Joel's eyes. So you only really experience the story and the events of the world through his perspective for the most part, like for like 95% of the game. So like you don't really get to live in these other pockets like in the game because you're controlling the character, right? So like they don't want to break away. So you only really see the world through Joel and Ellie's eyes. A lot of what is kind of transpired here is inferred in some ways, and some like stuff you find along the way that you read, and the way that they kind of talk about each other, and of course the interactions that they have with Bill. And this is they've definitely changed some things up for sure. There's some major changes, at least considering, because I'm not going to spoil the game if you haven't played the game, I guess. I won't go into that here. You know, when we check out heavy spoilers breakdown on the episode, though, we might talk about it a little bit. But yeah, I really liked what they did here, because they definitely changed it up and they added so much context to that. So while we didn't have this cold open like we did in the first two, that were setting us, you know, back in the pre-outbreak thing, the whole episode here was a little bit of a mix-up. We got the intro card right at the beginning, and then we caught up with Joel and Ellie for a minute, and then from that point forward, we started taking back from the graves, that mass grave that they stumbled upon. Again, kind of further accentuating the horror of Fedra's rule in a way, while understandably that might be the logical thing to do when supplies are limited. If you can only take so many people, I mean, like Joel said, the dead can't be infected. It's messed up, but, you know, it's one of those tough calls that in a situation like this, just like with bombing the cities to reduce the spread of this thing, it's an extreme measure for what they hope is the prevention of the extinction of the human race. But that doesn't make it any less horrific. Going back and then showing like how Bill survived this, how he stumbled upon Frank, who was making his way from the Baltimore QZ, which had fallen to the one in Boston. And then from there, just their interactions, their relationship that they built together made it to where he was like, well, maybe I can just stay here. I love Nick Offerman's portrayal as well, because it was so just beautifully subtle in all these little ways. Like I mentioned earlier, just the way that he expresses this inner like turmoil, like this, like he longs for this connection as much as he wanted the world to die. As he said, he wanted them to just go off and leave him alone so that he can just be alone. That connection there was something he didn't really know how to deal with, on top of these feelings and desires that he's never really allowed time or thought to process them. I will say that I do think they jumped into the single day. Like it progressed pretty quick. Like that was the only thing that I have a little minor nitpick about. I feel like the spark was quick considering. But I loved everything that happened after that. I thought everything afterwards was so smooth, like the little time skips, how they met with Joel and Tess and formulated this little reluctant alliance, and then just the kind of implied growth that's happened through these time skips and stuff like that. Now, I don't know what happened to Frank here. You know, I assume it may be cancer or something like that, because it wasn't affecting Bill. There's one thing that I love about this too, because like the Tess and Joel relationship, they're going out of their way to expand on the game in a lot of fun ways. And this is one of those things that was very much like the Tess-Joel relationship in the game, again, because we only have minimal points of view that we follow. There's a lot of things that were implied, theorized, speculated by the players, that they're taking the time to just be like, well, here it is, you're right. So like there's a lot of things that have been getting confirmed in this, from the spread, from Tess and Joel's relationship to the Frank and Bill connection. I really love that. Again, it just keeps it fresh for people who have played the game like myself. The deviations, the detours to streamline the story as well, though I am kind of remiss that we didn't get to see Nick Offerman present day interacting with Joel. I think that change, it's hard to talk about this without talking about what happens in the game. So I'm going to put up a time code. You skip ahead to that if you don't want to know the differences in the game or whatever, to the best that I can remember them. So if you don't want to hear any of it, just skip ahead to this time code and that'll be it. So in the game, Joel and Ellie, when they're heading towards Frank's, you know, they bumble and stumble and like work around all of his traps and all this stuff, but all the while bringing like infected this way. But they do finally make their way to Bill, who is just very, very concerned about the whole situation, and also paranoid about either one of them having been bit in the horde. So he's still very much kind of like that early on Bill that we saw at the start of this, in a lot of ways. So you have this interaction with Bill as he's reluctantly kind of helping them after he confirms that neither one of them are infected. And then through that, you kind of learn that Frank had, you know, gotten fed up, and whether like in dialogue with Bill, as well as some things you kind of find along the way, notes and stuff like that. But like Frank had kind of taken off, having gotten fed up with his survivalist paranoia and all this stuff, and the way that he claims to survive. So Frank goes off on his own, and in the wake of all that, gets infected, and then comes back, and before it can take over, he, not like this, but a very different way. Joel and Ellie stumble upon Frank later, which causes the whole interaction. You know, stuff happens, and Joel and Ellie have to chaotically leave. It was a very different series of events than what played out here, and they definitely changed it up to make that relationship a lot more tender and hopeful, to kind of echo this theme that they've got through this, you know, save who you can, you know, hanging on to hope, to let love abide, if you will, not to build up these walls, and to find someone or something to push forward through. I do like that change. It is a lot less bitter. It's also very sweet. And it also, for people who have played the games, it just kind of, it's another wrench that it throws into the story and your expectations to keep us on our toes. I really did enjoy it. And it just makes me sympathize with Bill that much more, because there is this very painful disdain that they kind of grew for one another throughout their survival. They did survive together for 20 years. They did run this town for 20 years together in the games, but like Frank eventually got fed up with Bill's nonsense. And in a letter that he kind of left behind, he expressed that. But still, Bill, of course, you know, pushed through and kept his guys up that it doesn't bother him none, but you could tell that it really did. So, like, there's a lot of these different things here that they kind of changed up to make this a more beautiful send-off to both characters. And I kind of like that change. And I know it's probably going to get some pushback. It definitely was an interesting change that it definitely threw me off. But in the end, I really thought it was really beautifully done. I also loved that the parallels between Joel and Bill and his relationship with Tess as his relationship with Frank. Because Joel and Bill were both these two people that in the collapse of the world put up these walls and through their significant others found some connection in this world. And Bill in his dying moments writing that letter, you know, was like, do everything you can to protect her while you have her, you know. But she's gone. But now he's got Ellie. And now they're taking what they can here. They're going to go ahead to see if they can track down Tommy. I mean, he got his truck battery in the end. We got some things showing just how strong Ellie's resolve is, you know, with her finding that infected down in that basement too when they took that pit stop. Her curiosity even, until she put it out of its misery. Again, didn't tell Joel about it though, and then found Frank's gun. Didn't tell Joel about it. But guys, I'd love to know what you all thought of the episode, so sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Remember, if you enjoyed this reaction, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny, Cher, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, York, Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Raven McGann, Jeffrey Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake Cantrell, Amy Becca, and Josh Lee. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you all next week with episode 4. Take care, everybody.